I'm Junior Flemings. You're watching Eddie Vision TV. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section. So just keep supporting, and together we are one. One Jamaica. One love.
Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Eddie Vision TV, the channel where we look at sports differently. Steve McClaren. People, when in all of this, I've been quiet, just assessing things and, getting my sources together. You know what I mean? So I have some news for you guys. Update. Another update. It's been a while, so like the video, subscribe if you're new, and share the video. Alright, so we all thought that it was over, right? It was a done deal that Steve McClaren would have or will be sacked in the upcoming days. Yes, there will be a meeting with the technical committee led by the chair, Rudolph Speed, and Coach McLaren. They need a report on what went wrong in the Gold Cup. They need a report from Steve McClaren, to really find out, get to the bottom of things, what went wrong, what they did well, and his plans for the World Cup qualification starting in September. Now, first of all, if you really look at it, if the coach will be sacked, why have a meeting with him right now? Why would you have a meeting to discuss what went wrong? Just fire him. You know what I mean? I don't know the ins and outs of the contract as yet. I'm still to receive that information in terms of the payoff or the payout in the event that they let go Steve McClaren. But according to my sources, it is more likely that Steve McClaren will stay in the job as Reggae Boyz coach. Again, it is more likely that he will stay as the head coach. I'm not saying he will, it's more likely. And if you understand how this goes, in terms of probability, alright, so for instance, 70% he stays, 30% he is released. So it's more likely, and I got this from a member in the JFF. You know what I mean? So despite how the JFF feel about McLaren right now, it's more likely that he will stay on. Look, people, and you might want to know why the JFF don't necessarily want to be looked at as being, panicking. They don't want it look like them panicking. So that was a major point for them. They don't want it seem like they're panicking and they don't know what they're doing. Remember, at the end of the day, they brought in the coach to qualify for the World Cup. Yes, things are not going to plan, but there's still 6 games to go. And a big reason for him might be staying, or most likely, let me use the same words that I was told, most likely be staying. A big reason for me is that the soup, when you look at the teams that we are about to play in the last round, we're still going to play Trinidad, Curacao, and Bermuda. So I think those 3 teams are saving Steve McClaren from the axe. If we were playing Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador, teams like that, Suriname, I think Coach McClaren would have been out the door. So there's hope for Steve McClaren, and it's not his doing. Steve McClaren should be thanking CONCACAF and FIFA for giving Jamaica that easy draw. The group, for me, is the only thing that will save Steve McClaren at this time. Again, it is more likely that Steve McClaren will keep his job, and that's the word I'm getting. That's the latest peep. I know a lot of persons not going to be happy with this news, but I'm just letting you guys know. You know what I mean? I'm letting you guys know. So call me the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. You make from it what you want, but at this time, that's what I'm getting. So, if McClaren stays, remember, he told us in the press conference that players will be out. The players are not as good as we think. So now your favorite players will be out the door. So that will cause a lot of turmoil in the squad. The writing is also on the door. I don't know if the JFF is looking at that as well. If players are already unhappy, what will happen in September when players will be excluded from the team? What will the vibes be like come September? The new players will be coming in, players will be going out. What will the vibes be like in the September window? Food for thought. Things to talk about. Will he still have the dressing room come September? We heard that he has lost the dressing room. Will he find the dressing room come September, people? Let me know. Let me know, because senior players are not happy. They are not happy with the tactics. They are not happy with how we are playing. Will it change come September? I said it earlier in a video a couple weeks ago. It will be a September to remember. Will we have a new coach? Alright, but for now, I'm going with my source, and my source is saying that it is more likely that Steve McClaren will be the Jamaican senior coach. Alright, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you happy with this? What should the JFF do better? How can we save the day? How can we progress? And for me, because if I had a dream, people, if I have a dream right now and God say Steve McClaren will take us to the World Cup, I'm okay. If he says a local, God can tell me right now that Lenny, for instance, can take us to the World Cup, I'll work with it. Because at the end of the day, for me, World Cup. So no matter who is the coach for me, as long as we get what we need and we get what we deserve. Can McLaren be the man to do that? That is a question. And despite everything, a new coach coming, we don't know, the uncertainty is still there. We don't know if that coach will be able to take us to the promised land. What if the new coach comes in and we lose the second game or the first game? Should we then move and get another coach? So it is very tough, and it is going to be difficult if they replace him to bring in a new coach under so much pressure. Because you basically go and play 6 cup finals. It rough. Is like bringing in a coach in the middle of a Champions League campaign in the round of 16. They bring in a new coach with all the expectations, must win. That is a very difficult situation. Alright, so now folks, it looks as if the coach will be staying on. So that's it for me. Do the right thing, like, share, subscribe. I'm out.